Welcome to our posts. Today we will see stories of r/TrueOffMyChest. I threw my drink on the side of McDonald's today. I've always treated food workers with extra kindness because I know how it is. Until today, I have never had a drive-through person be so hateful for no reason. This experience was so bizarre and boils down to miscommunication. I ordered a burger, medium fry, and large Diet Coke. Here's what happened when I pulled up to the second window. McDonald's lady opens window and hands me bag of food. Me, thank you. McDonald's lady ignores me and closes window. Me waits at the window for about 3-5 minutes for my drink. McDonald's lady opens window. Do you want anything else besides Diet Coke? Me, no thank you, just the Diet Coke please. Her stares at me angrily. Me stares back in confusion. Her closes window. I can see her complaining about me to a coworker, but I'm still lost as to what I did to make her so angry. Me waits for another 10-15 minutes at window. The car behind me started honking. Her opens window. Here, passes me what looks like carbonated water. Me, oh, I ordered Diet Coke please. Her, yep, there's your Diet Coke. Me, okay, what's wrong with it? Her, we are out of Diet Coke, so there's your Diet Coke you wanted. Me, but you didn't tell me you were out of Diet Coke. You just asked if I wanted anything else besides Diet Coke. Her sighs. Why would I ask if you wanted anything else besides Diet Coke if it wasn't for that we were out of Diet Coke? Me, I'd ick because I thought you were being nice and asking if I wanted anything else like ketchup or something. Her rolls eyes and closes window. So yeah, before I drove off I threw the Diet Coke beside the window all over the side of the building. I do regret my actions and wish I had just let it go. I was just so angry that she treated me so badly when I was pleasant like I always am to service workers. I feel bad for whoever was told to clean it up. Next story. My girlfriend cheated on me with her ex at our engagement party. So, I've been dating this girl, let's call her Jenna, for about 3 years. Things were going great, or at least I thought they were. We've had our issues like any couple, but I was head over heels for this girl. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to take the plunge and propose. I went all out, fancy dinner, roses, the whole 9 yards. She said yes, and I was on cloud 9. Now here's where things start going off the rails. We decided to throw an engagement party to celebrate with our friends and family. We rented out this nice little venue, invited everyone we knew, and got ready to party. The night starts off great, good food, drinks flowing, everyone's having a blast. I'm mingling, talking to friends I haven't seen in a while, when I notice Jenna's been missing for a little too long. At first, I'm like, whatever, she's probably chatting with someone, but then I start to get this weird feeling in my gut. So, I start looking around for her. I check the bathroom, the bar, even the dance floor, nothing. I'm getting a little worried now, so I decide to step outside to see if she's out there. As soon as I walk out the door, I hear these muffled voices coming from behind one of the bushes by the side of the building. I quietly sneak over, and as I get closer, I hear Jenna's voice, followed by a guy's voice. My heart's racing at this point. I peek around the bush, and there she is, Jenna, making out with some dude I don't recognize. I'm frozen in place, trying to process what the hell is going on. Then I hear her say, "I've missed you so much. I can't believe we're doing this at my engagement party." I kid you not, my brain short circuits. Engagement party? Who the hell is this guy? I stand there, just watching in shock as they start getting even more, affectionate. Here's where it gets even crazier. I step out from behind the bush, and I'm like, what the actual F***ck? Jenna, she jumps a mile and spins around, looking like she's seen a ghost. And then, the guy turns around, and it's her ex-boyfriend. The same ex she told me she hadn't spoken to in years. The same ex she said was totally out of her life. I'm standing there, watching my fiancée make out with her ex-boyfriend at our own engagement party. I feel like I'm in a bad soap opera. The dude has the audacity to look at me and go, "Bro, I'm sorry, man. This wasn't supposed to happen." Wasn't supposed to happen. Jenna starts crying, trying to apologize, saying it was just a moment of weakness and that it didn't mean anything. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out if this is real life or some kind of messed up dream. I just turned around and walked back inside, leaving them standing there. I grabbed a drink and tried to act normal, but inside I was losing it. I didn't want to cause a scene at the party, so I didn't say anything to anyone, but I was dying to just scream. The rest of the night was a blur. I kept replaying the whole thing in my head, trying to make sense of it. The next morning, she came home, all apologetic, begging me to forgive her. She tried to convince me that she was just overwhelmed by the engagement and that seeing her ex brought back old feelings. I couldn't even look at her. So yeah, that's my life right now. I haven't made any decisions yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going through with this wedding. I still can't wrap my head around how this even happened. How do you cheat on someone at your own engagement party? I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted reality TV show. Next story. I used to abuse my little brothers and the guilt is making me suicidal. I am 21 now and my brothers are 12 and 14. My mother was extremely cruel and abusive to me. Didn't let me shower every day, locked away food, tormented and neglected me. I know it's no excuse because I should have known better. When they were born, my mother became worse to me. Way worse. She also made me make bottles for them, bathe them, change diapers, watch them. I ended up resenting them over time. She tore down my physical appearance since I was 7, telling me I have buck teeth, a huge forehead, stretch marks. She would call my toddler brother, grab my leg and put it near hers, and she would ask him whose leg was fatter. They would always say mine was. I used to torment them the same way my mom did to me, but in different ways. She would tell me ghosts, the devil, or anything extremely scary was coming to get me at night and let me bang on the other end of her bedroom door and beg for her to let me in. She wouldn't. She would let me cry and cry for an hour while I was saying I was scared and I was sorry. I would tell them bugs/spiders/sharks were coming to get them, scare them, hit them and pull their hair. I even hit one with a phone charger because my mom would always leave me to discipline them sometimes so she wouldn't look like the physically abusive one. I left scratches and marks. Pretend to be a shark and pretend to drown them in the pool because I knew it scares them. So I would pull them under for a second or two. She used to get my toddler brother to tell on me whenever I snuck food, so I ended up getting so angry at him. When they got older, they'd go in my room and steal my stuff and my food that I got since there was none for me. She would tell me they did it and say, "Well, brother's name, you shouldn't have done that. I'm telling your sister now." Overall, I was just really rude and nasty to them. When I moved out at 17, that's when I started to feel immense guilt. I look back at it now, and I could never do that to a child. I hate myself so much for it. I've already apologized to them so many times. They said it's okay, but I don't think it is. I try so hard to take them out and spend quality time with them. I've cut off my whole family who saw me get abused and did nothing. So now I'm shunned in a way and I haven't seen my siblings in over a year. I try to text them, call them. I carry so much guilt. I could never imagine doing what I did now. The sounds of them crying when I screamed over their faces haunt me. I want to die. My mom treats them so much better, but still not good. I hate myself for being like my mother. I don't know how to handle the guilt. I don't think I'll ever be able to fix it. I'm no better than my own abusers. Next story. Tired of my broke boyfriend. My boyfriend made a lot of money with crypto, and because of it, he's also lost it all. We've been together for 8 years, and I've supported him through all the ups and downs, and I wonder if my loyalty is worth it. I'm F28, and seeing my friends move in and get married with well-adjusted normal men is making me resent my boyfriend M28. He worked one bad office job at 20 and decided he never wanted to do that again. He quit college and decided to pursue entrepreneurship instead. A couple of failed businesses and a dangerous ride during the crypto era have left me exhausted. 2 years ago, when I was broke and looking for a job, he decided to take us on a trip. We had a great time and I paid for all my expenses with money that my parents gave me, but he paid for the accommodation. Now, he has just charged me for my contribution to the trip. He's so broke, he's now inventing charges out of thin air. The utter failure in his professional life, the lack of financial security in our future together is making me doubt whether he is someone I should be spending the rest of my life with. I'm jealous that my friends get to go to restaurants and order dessert without looking at the bill. I'm jealous that they get to move in with their boyfriends, knowing that the bills would be paid on both sides. I'm jealous that I perhaps didn't have the self-respect to find a better man to be loyal to throughout my 20s. Next story. I refuse to read my friends' messages. My 18M dad was killed in a car accident before I was born. As for my mom, the woman resents me, regularly saying she could have played professional basketball if she didn't get pregnant. So I live with my maternal grandma. My grandma is one of the only 3 people I have a deep, meaningful relationship with, the other 2 being my friends Kate 18F and Mia 18F. My paternal grandparents keep me at an arm's length, probably because I remind them of my dad and it's too painful. They were there for me ever since I was a kid, and I care about them more than anyone, except my grandma. I fell in love with Kate when we were only 9, but everyone told me kids don't fall in love and you read too many of your grandma's romance novels. My grandma said the same, so I just suppressed it. When I finally confessed to Kate, she said no. We continued hanging out as usual for the next couple of weeks. Then Mia came up with an idea. She saw that I was hurting inside and told me she could help. I've always listened to her since her mom is a psychiatrist, so she knows what she's talking about, a fact she always enjoys reminding me of. She told me that I need to pick up a new hobby, something to distract and preoccupy me. Mia then offered to teach me cooking. She said it would really help. Mia then taught me how to cook all of her favorite dishes. Whenever I get stressed or frustrated trying to learn a new recipe, she'd tell me I'm doing well and joke about how she's grooming me to be her house husband, just to lighten the mood. The thing is, Kate isn't very happy. I used to spend the same amount of time with each of them. I still hang out with Kate, but not as much as before. Now I spend more time with Mia. I told her it's because Mia is teaching me how to cook and Mia backed me up, telling Kate she's taking it the wrong way and being selfish. Kate then accused me of only being friends with her because I wanted sex and then ditching her because I couldn't get any. Which is ridiculous since I had romantic feelings for her before I even knew what sex is, as I quickly reminded her. Kate wouldn't listen, so Mia told me we should leave. Yesterday, she sent me messages, but Mia told me not to read them yet since I'm not ready to properly communicate and might get into another argument. She said I should read them later when emotions aren't flying around and there's lower risk of escalation. This morning, Kate called me and butt for not reading and replying. She said I am being cold-hearted in my approach and said that avoiding her isn't going to solve anything. She also told me I should think of how she was there for me when I needed her. What should I do now? Update. After reading some of the comments, I decided to talk to Mia. As it turns out, she does have some feelings for me. We're going out tomorrow. Next story. I just doubled someone's salary. I manage a team of analysts, and I got this application for an open role recently from a guy who's been working in my company's warehouse for a year. Not some kind of technical position, either he's been slinging boxes. Still, we try to give internal candidates a little bit more of a shot, make sure they don't get lost in the pile. And it turned out that this guy's actually incredibly qualified. It's just that all his analytical roles were from his home country. And when all your work was done in developing country, not known for producing analysts and done in not English, it's pretty hard to get hired. But his skills were so relevant. and my team really liked him, and he's picked up a crazy amount of useful knowledge in the past year. Our HR can get a little iffy about giving someone too much of a salary increase when they change roles internally. So I came at them pretty hard about not lowballing him, and they didn't. They did let it slip to me, though, that it'll be double what he's making now. I got to give him the verbal offer today, and he didn't even wait a second before accepting. He was so stoked. I think he's out celebrating right now. We may not be at peak warehouse efficiency tomorrow. This is the most fun I've ever had hiring someone. Edit. Guys, literally all I did was hire an objectively very well qualified person and spend like 15 minutes tops writing various "do not lowball him" messages in order to get him some money that I otherwise couldn't touch or do anything with. It is a happy story and we should all feel happy for him, but this comment section. It's like if I posted I found a puppy that poops solid gold and you all started giving me kudos for being a selfless animal rescuer. This is a logical action that just happens to also be nice. Next story. No one but my mother, and I know that almost every meal I make for her is revenge. I have never told anyone this, not even my husband, but it happened again tonight, and I'm feeling a bit giddy because of how well it worked yet again, so I want to brag. I'm aware I'm a piece of crap. Part of why I haven't told anyone. When I was little, my mother wanted to use corporal punishment on me. Not my siblings, never my siblings, but because I was such a bad kid, she wanted my dad to hit me. My dad flat out refused and told her that if she did, he wouldn't be able to stay with her because he didn't want anyone hitting his kids. My dad was abused pretty bad as a kid, whole other story. Can't get into it too much or we'd be here all day. So, instead, whenever my mom was mad at me, she would give me spicy food to eat, even though I hated it and it made me sick. Like full-on stomach cramps, diarrhea, the effing works. She would only do it when my dad was at work, which was most nights at dinner, and whenever I asked for something else to eat, she would break down and cry over how much time she spent on my food, and don't I love her? Guilting me into hurting myself. Well, when I turned 16, I was meant to start taking over more of the chores in the house, including cooking dinner twice a week. My mother hates pasta. She hates it. It's a texture thing, and she claims it's always slimy. One brilliant night at 16, after my father began working morning shifts, I was mad at her for screaming at me earlier in the day, and I realized I could do something about it. Since that night, one of the only meals I have cooked for my mother is pasta. I load it with sauce, and sometimes make things like baked spaghetti because she hates the way the top of it looks. Whenever she's tried to turn it down, I put on Waterworks and shake and look at the table. You've always eaten it before. What did I do wrong? Are you mad at me, Mom? And because either my dad or my husband, or other people whose opinion she cares about, is there, she's never called me out. I am 26 years old and I intend to do this for every meal we share, or until she cuts me off. I'm not going to be seen as the bad guy here for not keeping the family together. I honestly don't care if this makes me a bad guy. She sucked, and this is my pettiest form of revenge. Watching her try to keep a straight face while choking down chicken Alfredo is the highlight of my week this week. Next story. My husband is dead. My 26F husband 29M died on Wednesday. Yesterday would have been his 30th birthday, and my 27th is coming up on the 11th. We were together for 9 years, married for nearly 4. We have a 7-year-old son together. He collapsed in our kitchen, hit his head on the stove and fell face down. It took me several minutes to roll him onto his back because he was quite a bit larger than I. The 911 operator walked me through CPR, but I kept going too fast and I don't even think I did it hard enough. The paramedics came and took him to the hospital. Myself and his parents followed, and after an hour of waiting, they told us he didn't make it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go through life without him being at least within reach by phone. My son is so deeply hurt, of course. He will be starting grief counseling through his school, and I guess I should go back to therapy again. I don't see how I am going to live the rest of my life without my person. Everybody says I'll be okay, but they all still have their spouses to fall into at the end of the day. Next story. I crapped my pants during job interview last week. I know this sounds absurd, but exactly what the title reads. I had a job interview last week and I crapped my pants during it. I do not know what messed up my stomach, but just before the interview I felt that burning urge of going to toilet. I felt something was wrong, but hoped I could sort it out in 10 mins. Boy, I was wrong. I literally crapped my bowels out, but still felt like doing more. I checked my phone, and it was time for the interview. I did not want to delay it as it was the final round with the coup of the company. I joined the interview call after cleaning myself. We started the interview, and I could hear roaring noises coming from my bowels and was sweating. I wished for interview to end quickly, but Ku asked and asked. In the end, I could not hold it up anymore and literally crapped my pants. Ku told me I am a great fit for the position, and I got the final offer. 3x annual salary of what I previously made with great benefits. I did not know if I should cry or laugh at that time. I just left the call after final sayings. I had to throw my chair out and get a new one. It was a crappy interview, but with a great ending. I'll probably tell this one to my grandchildren in the future. Next story. My wife left me after she got in shape and now wants to get back together. I am not sure why I am posting this. I probably want some validation as my life turned upside down recently. I 32M was married to my wife 33F for 4 years and we had a great marriage so far. I was madly in love with my wife. She fell into depression mainly due to her job in 2022. I tried to support her in every way and suggested her going to gym or doing any kind of sports to distress. I had my own depression episode before we got married, and what saved me was going to gym. She agreed to that and we started going there together. I could not go as frequent as in the past since my workload got heavier after my promotion. However, I tried my best to be there with her. She used to be a bit chubby, which I loved, and after seeing some changes with her body, she started to go there regularly. It also helped her with depression and she got better. I was really happy to see her get better and livelier. She looked more confident, got more aggressive in bed and so on. However, after a while that confidence level started to affect our relationship for worse. She started going to the parties and going outside to a point she completely stopped doing her share in the house. That proceeded with me seeing her getting flirty with a guy at a meetup we went. I communicated my feelings to her and she dismissed these. After several of these, I had her sit down with me and told her that she is riding high on her newly found confidence and emotions right now. I clearly stated she should not make decisions or actions according to that confidence right now. I know it well. It was one of my worst traits. I used to be extremely emotionally driven in the past. I suggested we go to a marriage counselor and hell broke loose. She said vile things to me like how she realized she settled down with me after getting better and she could do much better than me. She said I am insecure and other things. This woman used to be sweetest person on the earth, and I was shocked after hearing the things she said to me. She filed for divorce the following month, and I did not hear much from her other than some lawyer talks. Our court scene is scheduled to be next month, and my lawyer told me there is a high chance it'll be concluded then. There is not much to share. Similar income. Only shared asset is our joint account. Similar savings and no kids. House is my mom's, so it's out of division. I accepted my marriage is going to end like that. Last week she called crying and told me she regrets everything. She apologized over and over again, but I felt disappointed. Not angry, not sad, but just disappointed. She did not text me nor call me even once since the divorce started. I did not even know where she was since she just left the home. I told her there is no going back now. She has been messaging me non-stop. My family supports my decision and tell me I should not back down. My in-laws were shocked when they heard about the divorce. They are now telling me to rethink everything. I will 99.9% not back down, but as I said, just looking for validation and maybe wanted to vent. Thank you for reading. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share, and subscribe the channel R posts.